Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode here in Motorsport International in Romanian Culture Cars. My name is Baicu Vlad-Andrei. I'm here with Emilien Carde. Hello, Emilien.
Hi, Baiku. Hi, everyone. Thanks for hosting me.
Emilien Carde driving in Lamborghini Super Trofeo Asia and driving prototype in Michelin Le Mans Cup will tell us a couple of secrets about his motorsport career, results, achievements, and other things to do. Emilien, let's start with a little describe about you.
Well, hi, everyone. My name is Emilien Carde. I'm 25 years old. This season, I'm racing in Lamborghini Super Trofeo Asia, and I've started racing 20 years ago, actually, quite a long way now, quite a long time ago, and I've climbed the ladder of racing step by step from that point from karting back in 2005 and 2006, sorry, and I've started racing cars in 2016 in the French Clio Cup Championship, and then did a few seasons in prototype in Michelin Le Mans Cup, VDV, Ultimate Cup Series. I was a reserve driver in LMP2 back in 2022, and I've started a new adventure this season in GT. So in Asia, it's a very exciting new challenge for me, and it's been pretty successful so far.
All right. How you start the motorsport career and what is the people or what is your favorite driver to convince you to start motorsport career as a role model?
Um, I've started, as I said, motorsport at 5 years old in karting, and initially my role model was definitely my father. He was racing alongside my mother back in the 90s in rally in France, so they were doing quite a good job together, but they never really pushed me to do racing and to start this journey. I've always asked them to race since I'm 3 years old, and from 5 years old, they allowed me to start initially um, very calm journey, I would say. It was not very intense training programs and racing programs, but straight from junior categories, it became more than a hobby. So that was my journey. And when I grew up, my racing model on track was definitely Lewis Hamilton. I grew up watching him starting his career back in 2007 in McLaren, and seeing him um, through his career, how he won all his titles, and how he behaves on and off the track, definitely has been really inspiring for me.
Yes, yes, yes. Tell me the experience in Asia, Lamborghini Spectra for Asia, and of course experience in prototype, Michelin Le Mans Cup, Ultimate Cup Series, and other prototype competition. Tell me the different. Tell me the atmosphere. Tell me the car. Tell me the cars. Excuse me. Tell me everything.
Well, to start with the cars, obviously the difference is quite clear because this season I'm racing GT, so it's like a road car made for racing, so it's a bit heavier, less downforce, a lot more power as well, because in LMP3 we have only 450 horsepower, and in this Lamborghini rocket ship we have 620 horsepower, so it's a lot more powerful. It's a bit slower in the corners. That's the main difference. And we have to manage a lot more the tires because obviously we have less downforce, so we have to manage that a lot more. Um, I really enjoy driving both, even though I think driving a prototype is always really enjoyable when you feel all the grip that you can have. It's really something special, and you can only experience that in a prototype or in a single seater. I think it must be even better in a single seater because it's a lot lighter. Um, and in terms of championship, racing in Asia has been a very good discovery. I mean, the atmosphere there is completely different. They have a very hard passion for racing. The tracks are purely amazing. It's a very big challenge physically because during most of the season, the temperatures are quite high. The humidity is quite high as well. And that's something very different compared to Europe. We very rarely experience that very specific conditions. So it's a real physical challenge to race there, but it's really interesting as well. And yeah, I really enjoy driving in Asia. It allows me to travel as well, discover some new areas of the world, some new cultures. So it's definitely a really great experience, and I'm very lucky to had that I was very lucky to have that opportunity. I worked for it really hard to make it happen, of course, but I have to be thankful for the people who made that possible.
All right, all right. What do you recommend for a rookie or new generation, whatever you want to say? What do you recommend as a competition team? I don't know, a track day, event, and other stuff like that. What do you recommend?
Well, it depends on your age, definitely. If you're pretty young, I'd recommend to start with karting, definitely, because it helps to learn the racing science, as I would say. It helps you to learn how to manage a race weekend, how to manage a race with others on the track, how to overtake, the race strategy, how to manage stress as well. So karting is definitely the best, I would say, school to learn all of that. Even though in terms of pure driving, driving a race car and driving a karting is completely different. You have the basics of the driving line and oversteer, understeer, obviously, but apart from that, it's a completely different driving style, and you have to learn it and to learn how to handle it. So if you're older, I'd say to start in junior categories, in single seater, or if you're more into GT or endurance, maybe smaller categories, because it's not necessarily the easiest categories, because it doesn't mean that if the car is not powerful, doesn't mean it's not hard to drive. It's pretty much the opposite, actually. It's even harder to be performant in smaller categories because every gap between the drivers all the gaps are really thin. So every mistake that you make, you pay them cash. But it's definitely a really good learning process, and I would recommend that. And generally, be a hard worker, trying to be really precise, and be grateful for the work of the mechanics, of the engineers, of the team managers, because without them, nothing is possible, and we cannot almost even put the car on track. So we have to be grateful and thankful for the job.
Yes, yes, and of course, step by step from karting to
Exactly.
other competition, it's very important to understand the setup, the wheels, of course, the wheels, and of course the asphalt, the circuit, the track layout, and or something like that. So yes. Now let's talk about the serious phrase. In my country, the motorsport is being promoted by two phrases: "Street is not circuit," and "Champions are in circuit, not in the street." To tell us people for the first time watching my interview, the people who watching me other interview from other project, of course, we know exactly what I'm talking about. In your opinion, what do we have to do to convince people to come on events and track this? And what can we do to stop street racing?
I think generally in Europe, we need to break that cliche that racing is only made for rich people. And I think we need to um, take an inspiration in what's going on in the United States. Uh, there, the motorsport is something that's popular, and they're trying to give as much access as possible to the fans. They give access to the garage. Um, they try to show the work of the team and how things are going on, and it's really helpful to um, I mean to give that access to the fans because they feel closer to the action and they feel more involved in the action. So they can engage more, and then it's beneficial for everyone, for the fans, for the teams, for the sponsors, because obviously racing costs a lot of money, and uh, professional racing is because of the fans. If there's no fans, there's no professional racing. So we need to be really respectful of that. And I think in Europe we lack a bit of access. For example, if you go to the 24 hours of Le Mans, if you want to have access to the paddock, the pass is really expensive. And even if you have the pass, you don't actually see that much of what's going on in the garage. And it's tough for people to understand what's going on. In endurance racing, the competition can be quite complex at sometimes. And I think we can have a lot of benefits in trying to make our sport a bit more easy to understand and at least involve a bit more the fans in the action.
All right, and that's for sure. The motorsport community increasing from day to day, like I say, because I see on social media also motorsport is being very, very promoted, and of course, people like me, people like you, and people from motorsport, especially inside and outside motorsport, promote this discipline very, very good, and of course. We will do better and better and better from day to week,
Absolutely.
year to year, and also other stuff, things to do. All right. Before we ended the interview, thank you so much, Emilien, to accept my invitation. Of course, guys, if you want to contact him, I will let you all social media in the description down below to contact him, and of course to watching him, to follow him, and see what's going on in his motorsport career. Also, if you want to ask him, you can use social media to ask him, or if you don't use social media, in the comment section down below, you can ask him some questions, and of course, Emilien will see, and of course, gonna be a Q&A session in this video because yes, everyone is been interested how to start the motorsport, and of course, people who starting from amateur, not from the young age, like. A little old, like I say, but of course, everyone is been welcome here in motorsport, from young to
Absolutely.
old people, exactly as well, to start motorsport, and of course, to demonstrate who is the best driver in the world, like I say, because why not? All right, so
Yeah, for sure.
a message for fans, for team, from fan competition, excuse me, and others.
A message that I can have for the teams, thank you very much for the hard work that they are providing because um, I mean, the amount of work they put into racing is really impressing, and all all of that is just to strive for performance. So thanks to the teams, thanks to the sponsors who make all of this possible, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do that sport. To the fans, a big thank you as well, because if we make this is because and thanks to you. So thank you for being here during the race weekend, for cheering when we are on track, and for being that involved in what we do. Um, to amateur drivers, keep driving. I mean, motorsport is probably one of the only sport where you can start really late and still be able to practice the sport at a really high level. I mean, if I take an example, for the team I was racing with in 2022 as a reserve driver in LMP2, one of the drivers was 62 years old, and he was completely able to race at a very high level, and motorsport allows that. I mean, if you work enough, you can make it, and that's a message of hope I wanna share. Thanks to the manufacturers, especially Lamborghini, that I'm racing with this season, because they produce dream cars, very good cars that we can race with, and obviously um, without that, we would just do some bicycle, and I would do the Tour de France instead of the 24 hours of Le Mans. Yeah, I just want to be thankful, because I reached that point of my career now thanks to all of these people, and without them, I wouldn't have been able to even think of being a professional driver. So I just want to be, yeah, thankful for all of that, and I will keep pushing to to keep my career going as much as possible.
All right, all right. So, like I said, another other words you have to say, of course, is keep fighting, and of course continue to demonstrate you are the best, and of course convince people, including amateur drivers, to come on motorsport, and that's for sure, guys. Thank you so much to see, guys, another episode here in Motorsport International. I invite Emilien to invite other people to come in Motorsport International. So if you want to come and tell us your story, contact Emilien. Emilien contact me, and after that we will set a day and time to tell us your story, results, achievements, and other stuff like that. And guys,
For sure.
until next time, thank you so much, Emilien Carde, to accept my invitational. Good luck in the rest of 2024, and let's see the
Thank you very much.
2025 how it goes. So guys, until next time, I'm Baicu Vlad-Andrei. With me was Emilien Carde. Remember guys, street is not circuit, and let's go racing vroom. You are the best.